Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of, I think around 18 homes, something like that. I lost track, but we'll get right to it. And the first one up is 1380 Main Street, number 105. $259.9 is the price. It's a one-bedroom plus a den. It's on the main floor. So there is that perceived risk of, hey, you know what? I'm right basically in front of the road. There's a lot of traffic on Main Street. I wouldn't worry too much about somebody trying to sneak into the home. It would be quite difficult to do. So one bedroom plus a den, $224 on the maintenance fees, very reasonable. 898 square feet is big for a one bedroom plus den. So per square footage, it's not a bad deal, but I just think that overall we have seen 1+1 sell for less. So do you want the biggest 1+1? It's like, do you want the biggest home on the street? Not all the time. So 922 Sprague is the next one, 324.9 with hardwood, main floor, upstairs, ground floor. I mean, this is a very impressive deal. It seems like these models are really coming down, and that's what can happen. The precedents on these ones can change. The bar can raise and lower very quickly with a couple good or bad sales. So there's the one over on Mark Street listed for the same price, but not nearly as nice. These guys are definitely pricing this one to sell. I wouldn't be surprised if it sold for more than asking price. Burrows Gate is about the same size as that one. It's a little bit bigger. Actually, you know what? It's a little bit smaller, but it is the end unit. 354.9. I don't know. When I look at the spread on price, it's going to be a real tough argument for this one at 354.9. There is one that did sell for 356, same model as this one, but it was beautiful inside. They did moldings everywhere. They did the backsplash. They had really high-end stuff. These guys have mismatched appliances, right? I mean, that's a good investment. I don't need to reiterate that. We talk about it all the time on Daily Homes, and they've done the 2 bedrooms upstairs, and there's a den downstairs. So the 2 bedrooms are much larger upstairs. You get the ensuite, everything else. What's handy is that there is that little main floor den right there. Okay, so they'll have a tough time at that price. Carver is $389. And what you're looking at with this one here is you've got a kitchen with an eat-in, and then there's kind of a long, narrow space, and they've actually defined the entrance. Because some people come in this home and they feel like you're right in the mix of the house. Not super wide. You can see they put a TV above this couch because it can be tricky to place a TV. It's just not a very wide room. And there's good-sized rooms upstairs. It looks like it's very clean and tidy. The trees and the privacy is probably something that's going to appeal to a buyer. And there's also a finished basement too, which is going to help them. 389 is a little bit high, but they're probably not that far off. Farmstead is 409. I think it's a terrible floor plan. You have to walk right through this area, and they've set it up as a living dining room, but it's, yeah, you almost have to cut the corner on this couch to get into your kitchen, because there's the doorway to your kitchen, and it's small, and there's no interaction with the family room. And some people like that. I mean, sometimes people even like to just say, hey, you know what, I'm cooking. I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to talk to people. Yeah, to me, the floor plan just is not good. It's not what I think most people want. And at 409, at just under 1,600 square feet, with an extra 50, 60 bucks a month that you're going to have to start paying in a year or two, it's just, there's so much better value out there. McFerrin is 409.9. It's a Hills View on 1,510 square feet. I think they were silly to not put appliances in. Yeah, you know, the pictures are okay. The toilet seat could have come down. They're backing onto green space. Now, I've showed this before in Daily Homes videos. So if you look at, the first step that you do is you look and say, where's McFerrin? It's this street that comes right off of Farmstead, and it's just off a rule. Now, keep in mind that this farm right here is, there's plans to demolish it. I don't know what future development's going to come from there, but if you want to check on the status, you can obviously call the town, but if you want to do a bit of research, go over to milton.ca, go to zoning bylaw, and then you go to the urban maps section. That'll pull up a map here, and then you find the right place that you're looking for. This one's on G2, I think. And so there's Farmstead right here. It curls right down. There's McFerrin Crescent. So if this one backs onto this area here, it's not defined as anything. So you want to be really, really careful about that. You can see the FD is a more brown color, and that stands for future development. It means there's not necessarily plans in place. OS is open space, RMD is residential medium density. You've got Greenbelt here. So yeah, you just want to be really, really careful. You can see residential high density over here. Oftentimes that's multi-story units or even sometimes apartment buildings. So yeah, I'd be really, really careful with what's going on around here. Open space, I assume, is the park, but you wonder what that is right there. They say it's a school, but I'll tell you, if push came to shove, I would want to know the answer for sure before I ended up buying this home. We have seen Hillsview Ends, even a little bit more upgraded than that one, for less. Hampshire Way is the first one from the live work stuff up by Main Street, $435. And when I look at this, it's got a beautiful kitchen, open concept. I guess this must be the model home because they've got stuff just sitting around. I wondered why they put this in here. I thought, well, maybe it's the model home. They scanned the room sizes. I don't know how big it is. The only thing about this one is it's $435. It's a townhouse. It's a 3-story townhouse, and it looks like it has 1 garage space. So really, I mean, it's going to be more than 1,500 square feet, but if you look at the Mattamy ones, the 3-story townhomes with the double garage in the back, they're selling for around $4,000. They're not as nice as this, but you get an extra garage space potentially with some of those Mattamy homes. It is nice to be very close to Main Street here, close to the GO train, everything else. It seems a little high. I hope there's some negotiating on that price. And Holloway is at $484.9. It's a relist. It says pie-shaped lot. It's really not that big of a lot. The problem with this one, if you get a good angle, the kitchen's been very upgraded. It's got a glass tile backsplash. The problem is on the main floor, and I don't know if it's going to show it here. So this part here, the fireplace protrudes out, and it's kind of a long, skinny living room, and that's the only room really on the main floor besides the kitchen. It can be very tricky to place furniture, and I think coming into this home, you'd see that. They've done a good job on the pictures to make it look living or livable, but it'd be very tricky. Check the virtual tour, have a look for yourself, but the furniture arrangement in this one here is certainly an issue, and that's all I have to say about that one. It does have a double car garage for that price. I get it. There's value there. But if you can't fit your couch, you can't watch TV, that's another story altogether. Now this one on Dickson at $518, it's a big home, okay? So 2325 square feet. The elephant in the room is that, hey, it's got siding, but I'll tell you, I don't know if there's better value for the amount of size of this home. You've got hardwood floors. There's a separate living dining room, so you could actually have a home office there with a nice high ceiling. That's all hardwood floors there. It's a family room. The kitchen has granite counters. We talked about the fact that earlier this week, if you didn't like the color of the kitchen cabinets, you could darken them, you can make them a cream color, but the basic elements are here. It fronts right onto a wood lot, so you get a beautiful view. You can sit outside on the balcony on the second floor, and one of the bedrooms has hardwood, and plus there's a big pie-shaped lot here. It's not a huge, I mean, it's 38 in the front, it's 46 in the back, and it's almost 100 deep. So this gets very close to what we see with Old Milton. The nice thing about having a little patio or a deck here is that it's much more private because the viewing angles for the other homes, it makes it harder to see you compared to being very close to the house. So that was a good, smart little thing that they did. $518, I think, is an outstanding deal for that size of home, definitely. So Harkin Place, $529. We're looking maybe just over 2,000 square feet. And so you've got one big room over here, and they've used that as a family room with a small table. And then they have another little sort of eating area just off to the side with a smaller kitchen. So kitchen's been done well, and it looks like there's possibly even upgraded countertops on this one here too. And then you've got a hardwood landing, upgraded sinks. You've got 2 of them, so it's nice to have the double sinks separately. Overall, you know, I think the value on this one is definitely there. There's no doubt about it. Bannen, I think, is another great deal. So we're talking about a home that I would guess is about 2,300 square feet, 544.9. And so you've got your dining room plus the family room and the kitchen. And this one feels connected. I've been in this home, so the kitchen, the family room really feel like they're part of the same area, but still separate enough, obviously. It just feels, some homes you feel like the kitchen's way away from the living area. This one's nice. They designed it really well. And then you've got a big open finished basement. It's actually bigger in real life than it looks like in the pictures. You back onto some green space. So finished basement, double garage, green space, 4 bedrooms plus an office area upstairs. So there's an extra den on top of that 4-bedroom. And they're actually building a walkway just over here. There's some train tracks just north of here. They're building a walkway that's going to go right over to connect to the subdivision just south of Main Street, which means a lot more access to the sports center, the library, all the rest of it. And for kids who are in high school, especially the Catholic school, it's much better access to Bishop Redding. They can just walk over the bridge and then they're at school basically. So some really nice stuff here. There's the Catholic elementary school. Catholic high school is a little bit north. So if you're looking for Catholic schools, you got a good one here on Bannen. A lot of smaller homes. There's not a whole lot of double garage homes on Bannen. It's a lot of semi-detached homes. And you will hear the train tracks around there. There's a berm, but there's also a bit of an open area where you're going to hear some of the noise. I don't think it'll be crazy, but it is what it is. Miller Way. I had a bit of sense of deja vu on this one. 549. Let's just say the people who bought this home bought it and closed on it not that long ago, a week or 2 ago. I'm guessing there hasn't been that many changes to it. They paid, let's say, I'm not going to say the price, but let's just say they paid at least $25,000 less, more than that, in fact, than the price that they're listed now for the home. And in what many consider to be a worse market, they're trying to sell it for a lot more money. I wish them all the best of luck because it's probably not going to happen. It is a good looking home inside. It does back onto the 3-story townhouses, so your backyard is a little bit fishbowl-y. There's some construction across the street. I don't think that's a major issue. You're not looking at like huge high-rise stuff. It's going to be just homes across the road. Miller Way is a busier road too. It's basically the feeder street into that whole subdivision. Scott Boulevard 579, we're talking about a 25 and change home, 2,500 square feet. And so you've got that nice separation between the dining room and the family room. A lot of people are addicted to open concept, but that half wall gives you all the impression of open concept, but you have a place to put your couch, which I think is fantastic. Pot lights in the family room above the fireplace, and good looking kitchen here too. Pot drawers, upgraded countertops, and all the rest of it. California shutters. 579, you know, there's a lot of good deals underneath there. They are a little bit bigger than the stuff under 550 for the most part. Catherine is 24 and change square feet, 595. Beautiful house. There's a bit of a pass through between the kitchen and the dining area, and then there's a family room just off to the side here. It's a really nice layout. They're really banking on getting some money for the upgrading and the finishes, and they've got some wainscoting upstairs, which is beautiful, and I'm sure it looks great inside. I would rather take a 2,400 square foot home that I could pick up for 540 and put my own touches in for probably less than what these guys are asking. McCutcheon is 679. It's 3,300 square feet, and it's called a Toth Brooke model. There's 2 of them in today's episode, and you can see that it's okay, right? Like you can work with some of the stuff in this home. It's got a great floor plan. This floor plan was awarded by the Greater Toronto Home Builders as the plan of the year, I think when they first started building them in 04 or 05 or something like that. It's great stuff though. Freeman Trail is a relist. You can check the virtual tour link. 679, right on the corner of Freeman and Louis St. Laurent, so it is very busy. It's a beautiful, like very well landscaped. They've got a basement apartment with a kitchen there. There's a lot of good things about this home. They have a neat little like there's just the work that's been done in the backyard is absolutely amazing. And yeah, in-ground sprinklers, perennials, there's a gazebo in the back. It's lovely stuff. Hill Street is back on the market, 684.9. It's another Toth Brooke, 3,300 square feet. I like what you could do with this one a little bit more. The darker wood on the stairs. They've got the moldings put in. It's a very clean, tidy home. You've got the under cabinet lighting here. You can work with this kitchen. There's good appliances. There's extra pantry space. And yeah, it's just a terrific layout. And Hill Street is equally as good as McCutcheon when we talk about the one listed just underneath this. They're both lovely, quiet streets in an award-winning school area. So Hawthorne Village was voted in the top 25 schools in Canada by today's Parent magazine. So that's a good little pocket to be in. That's where I live, actually. So Ellington is also in the Hawthorne Village district. It faces Louis St. Laurent. So Ellington is a street that you really don't go on unless you live on it. So it's very, very quiet for traffic. But Louis St. Laurent is going to continue to get busier, and it's facing Louis St. Laurent. It's very close to the new public high school also, in addition to the Hawthorne Village Public School. It's across from Craig Kilberger. Not directly, it's sort of kitty corner to, you'll see Kilberger from probably this window over here. $698 is the price. It's 3,500 square feet. There's some nice work done here. It's got a side door and it's got a driveway that goes right around. It's a really neat floor plan. So the front of the house is basically that turret room is a little bit of a sitting area or a formal living room. Plus you've got area for a living dining. And then you get through, this is really the passageway. There's a little side door entrance here. And then you go to the second half of the house, which is so imagine that's formal side. And then this side here is your kitchen. It's been well upgraded with the moldings on top and the backsplash and the counter and everything matches. And that you go a little further into the back of the house and you've got this raised breakfast area. It's quite nice. There's a little bit of a den upstairs here. And then you've got the kitchen is directly across. You can see the front doors here across from the family room. Upstairs you've got a master with a whole other area here. You could probably make it a 5th bedroom if you wanted to. But it's a huge space. A great area if you have a couch, if you like to watch TV before bed. It can be a real nice area to hang out, even to put some French doors here and maybe even have a home office. You get a good amount of light there. The French doors would allow the light to come right through the home. And then you've got your wood stairs. You've got, we talked about this I think last week, where some of the Mattamy 50-foot homes, they gave you 98 feet deep. So it's nice and wide, it's nice and long. This is as big as the home on Clover Park in older Milton in Bronte Meadows. So it's actually a very good sized backyard in terms of new subdivisions, much more than the 56 by 80s that you found on stuff like Hill and McCutcheon. So that's a good looking home. I like that one. The location is a little bit of an issue for some people, but I think the bottom line is the kids can be outside on their bikes and you wouldn't have to worry too much about traffic, and you could play all the street hockey you want. So that's the list for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, as always with these videos, and if you need our help, we are always there to help you. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.